Road. They're doing Pfizer first and second doses there. Got Mall Marathon, Pfizer first and second doses, and J&J also J&J at Southwest Plaza. Got a Fusion Superplex, Pfizer first and second doses, and J&J, and that's Saturday and Sunday. And the Fish Fry, Pfizer first and second doses, and J&J Saturday and Sunday. So hey, pop up and get your vaccine. Yeah. All right. Stephen, you're back with us.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Yes.
You can hear me? No? Oh, wait. Why am I muted? Hold on.
Is he muted? Okay. We'll get
yeah, no, I didn't mute myself. I forget that Zoom automatically mutes you when you join.
Welcome back.
Yes.
All right.
Despite BPL, we have returned.
Okay. All right. Great stuff. All right. So we've got a lot of great messages, and I do want to get to. We're going to really tick people off today because we're telling people we don't want to hear about how best to beat your children. No, and then we're going to talk about marital rape.
That's
Right?
like,
So we
and I'm sure that somebody's going to tell you the best way to rape your wife, because that's the dark world that we find ourselves in.
My word. Okay. Let's get to some of your messages, and we'll get to those calls. This person says here, stop saying beat, say discipline. And everyone in the 70s and 80s got beaten. All of your pastors, politicians, nurses, doctors, etc. You two.
And that's why we are where we are.
Say stop playing dumb, you two. And you're right. That's exactly why we are where we are.
Right.
Because we thought to deal with the situation. You gotta beat that spirit out of that person.
Right. A bunch of abused people who never dealt with their trauma running the country. Congratulations. You did it. You did it, Bahamas. You did it.
So are you guys saying that physical punishment is wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. Especially a helpless, defenseless child.
No, I think just generally.
In general, but especially.
The way when Wayne Monroe said, "What is it that you want?" My thought was that it does not benefit. You know, the whole saying where it's like eye for eye, leave the whole world blind. Right? I'm one of those persons who not only want restorative justice, where it's like if somebody thief your TV and they go to jail, you still don't have a TV. And sometimes the police will confiscate the TV, use it as evidence that this person committed a crime, and not return your TV, right? So that's a whole different conversation. But you have lost your television, and that person goes to jail. You're still at a loss, and all you're doing is punishing that person. I not only believe in restorative justice, though, I believe in transformative justice, where we need to leave the situation better than we met it. So not only do you get your TV back, but that person now finds themselves in a position where they no longer feel the need to break into somebody's house and steal the television, whether that's because they realize their actions affect somebody, or whether they realize there's another way to make money, whatever it might be. But like that is what I actually want to see. Now, of course, in this situation, you can't bring a person back to life, but there must be something that we could salvage from this moment, right? That could make the Bahamas a better place, right? And it's like, and not just us having this conversation, but within the lives of the people who were directly affected by the moment. And it's like, I do not think that beating somebody with a stick or a cat and nine tail does anything except to express your personal frustration with what this person has done. It doesn't leave us in a better state, right? And so there must be something more that we can do when it comes to violence or crime of any sort besides just more violence. There has to be something that we could do to make the country better so we don't have a repeat of it, or people only moving in fear of this supreme violence that will befall them if they are caught doing it, and so they just become better criminals. There has to be something.
A lot of messages here. Someone says, stop it. A minister cannot, in any case, call citizens stupid. It is arrogant and uncalled for. Use your vocabulary. Find another way to communicate your opinion. People don't forget how you speak to them. Stop it. Okay.
I mean, he also told y'all to kiss his hip like 5 years ago, and now he in power. So, I mean,
stories.
either people do forget or don't matter. But at the end of the day, it's like, let's not conflate a bunch of different issues where it's like, just because somebody says something means that it's not true. Let's look at the context.
They're getting distracted by that as opposed to paying attention to what he's saying.
And sometimes you have to use hard words to get people's attention, right? Yeah. And the thing is, like, it's not like this is not verbal abuse. He's literally describing that what you're doing is not ignorant. You are aware that logically this doesn't make sense, but you choose to continue down that path. That is stupidity.
All right, here's another text. I was punished as a child, spanked in some instances, didn't kill me, didn't abuse me, just spanked me for a few seconds when I was extremely rebellious. Now, thriving professional with 3 kids and a nuclear family of my own, all well-adjusted college graduates starting their professional careers. There is a right and a wrong way to discipline.
I bet.
Okay. This one says,
I encourage them to go talk to their child. Go talk to their 3 perfect college graduated children. Go talk to them. And your wife.
The people who they're with. But anyway, I disagree with you, Dwight, that you are trying to put this on the public unfairly. The mother decides to date this no good man. These women have to make better decisions. And please, Minister Monroe, be a minister and not a defense attorney. What?
Who's putting it unfairly? No, we're saying
public. And we all are making bad decisions. Everybody. We're seeing these things. We're seeing these things and knowing that these things are going on, and turning our backs, closing our eyes to it often.
Right,
and that's not helping anybody.
And the thing is, right, what this person text is exactly what I meant at the beginning of this, which is, let's not excuse ourselves from the fact that, but for our arms getting tired, or our child drinking enough milk, that our child ain't the dead one and we ain't in front of the courts. Because plenty parents have struck their children in anger because the child break a plate or was making too much noise or whatever the reason was, that logically an hour later they realized it really wasn't that big a deal, right? And many of you would have killed your child if your child had not been slightly more resilient than your arms. And so what we are saying is for the public to look at themselves and say, not look at this is a situation where it's like, this is a special pervert who did a horrible sex crime, but look at this person as, he is just like you, and you could have killed your child. But you didn't kill your child, and so you feel like you have the moral superiority over him. You also do this thing, and that is what we are pointing at the public.
That's disturbing. Oh, wow. Okay, and this person says here, good morning, guys. It's no surprise we haven't heard a voice note apologizing for spreading these malicious rumors. I sit back and listen to your show and other shows on the station say what they would, but now the message has changed to child abuse and excessive child abuse, but this is a topic the masses don't want to touch. Mm-hmm. How interesting. Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they're guilty of it too. Mm-hmm. Listen, I can promise you, there's a ton of pastors that will preach about homosexuality because they don't like man. But can they preach on loving their neighbor? Can they preach about feeding the poor? Can they preach about all these other things that Jesus asks of them specifically? Jesus leave and say, hey, clothe the naked, feed the hungry, take care of the widow and the children and the orphans. And yet, for some reason, we have pastors that will spend a month preaching about gayness when Jesus didn't ask you to preach about that, because they ain't gay.
You're going to.
No, but I'm just saying, it's easy for people to preach against a sin that they don't take part of. I'm asking the public, like this text is suggesting, you beat your child, and I want you to interrogate yourself as to why you are doing that, and if it is actually effective, or if your child is just become a more reserved person, become more repressed, whether your child is clearly abused, whether your child is resentful of you, ask yourself, is this the most effective means? Have I tried anything else? Am I being a lazy parent because I'm like, this is the easiest way to do it?
All right, we got a lot of messages here and calls. I want to read a couple more before we get back to the calls. This person says, I recall a pastor describing how he disciplined his kids. He said he never beat them in the heat of the moment, meaning he never disciplined them when he was angry. Before he disciplined them, he told them why they were being disciplined and that he loved them. If, and I say if, that is how we really disciplined, or he really disciplined his kids, it would be very hard to abuse someone in those circumstances. It would hurt you with every strike. The anger is the problem. Okay.
Anger is definitely the problem.
This one says, we could get on Mr. Monroe as much as we want. I appreciate his plain speech. It's funny how we can't get the law, but we can get it sufficiently when he speaks to the enraged. Bahamians are smart enough for all the foolishness they want to do. We make a lot of excuses for people who don't want to do better. And this one says here, Dwight thinks everyone is stupid, so not surprised he let that guy insult the average Bahamian for 5 minutes straight. Who guy are we talking about here?
The guy who kept saying that Bahamians don't understand law.
Oh.
Because I once again, I reject what he said. I reject 3/4 of what he said.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Dwight does not think everyone is stupid. Not everyone. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight don't think he's stupid.
Hi, good morning, Dwight and Stephen.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, good morning to the nation. As it relates to a couple points, Dwight, as it relates to Minister of National Security, Nguyen Monroe, I just want to express that I'm very proud of him and the way he's handling this entire matter and the way he's been handling the Ministry of National Security and his official responsibilities and allowing for the Commissioner of Police to execute his duties. I appreciate the fact that he's an expert as an attorney, especially as it relates to criminal law, and the Bahamas will benefit from his expertise in terms of upgrading the laws, in terms of making more efficient the laws. I also appreciate his approach in seeking to not only address crime and ensure that the adequate punishment is in place. Okay. I appreciate that he's seeking to address the entire being, even at the prison system,
okay,
in trying to upgrade that, right?
Okay.
On the flip side, as it relates to little Bella, I think, and I repeat, Dwight, as I said initially, and I didn't want to participate in all of the speculation because I found it to be grossly irresponsible, especially before the official findings had been released. But I find it just as terrible as the minister stated that an innocent child or any child, period, would have suffered that level of abuse to the point where ribs have been fractured, the internal organs have been damaged, and it resulted in the child's death. That is completely unacceptable. But I feel the little glimmer of light in this whole matter is if there is the right person in place who can position the case as best as possible to ensure that the punishment meets the crime, it is Nguyen Monroe. Thank you for the opportunity, Dwight.
Okay, thanks a lot. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Nope. Okay. Listen to these text messages as we get ready to go to the break. Dwight and Stephen, they say, Dr. Stephen. Oh, boy. Yep. Your assertion of corporal punishment as violent is unfair. Minister Nguyen Monroe on the Haja Black Show did not include the proper administration of corporal punishment as violence. Corporal punishment by parents is done out of love with aims of correcting wrong actions of a child. It's done when verbal correction proves ineffective. Corporal punishment is not intended to hurt. It is you and Dr. Stephen who should be presenting proof of adverse results. Oh, okay. We'll do that. We'll find the people who will talk about it. But you know, in theory,
had that show before.
Theory, yeah, of course, in theory. But maybe you don't know or see how it's done around here. Maybe you don't see it. And like the texter who talked about, hold on a second. The texter who said earlier how that one pastor who takes a break and talks to the child before administering corporal punishment. Do you think that's how it's done around here? Do you? Yeah, maybe in 1 or 2 out of every 10 homes. But around here, it's as soon as the thing happens, you're getting a big backhand slap and more. So stop it. Let's
I,
not pretend. Let's not pretend. You've seen it. I've seen little children barely able to walk. They touch something in a store, and the assault that's administered right there in front of all of us in the food store, wherever it is, unbelievable. Okay. Anyway,
my whole thing is like, I'm not going to chance it and be like, oh yeah, no, there's a right way and it's done out of love. People do all sorts of things out of love and end up damaging and hurting people. So that means nothing. The line that you set must be a line, a definitive line, not one that moves all over the place, depending on how a person feels, how much their child could take, and oh, he only crying for attention. Because you're saying out of love, and yeah, congratulations. Only the worst parent would admit that they hate their child. So every parent is going to say, yeah, man, when I jump kicked them in their mouth, that was out of love. That means nothing. All right. And it's like, we need to divorce ourselves from believing that everything that happened to us during our formative years was right, because we don't want to admit that there is broken things in us.
Yeah.
Because that is really what you're running away from. You're running away from the fact that it's like, something happened to me and I am not the best person that I could be because of the seed, the grain of irritation this thing planted in me. And we just keep looking at it and saying, no, it ain't nothing wrong with it because I'm okay. I'm a good person. There's nothing wrong with me. And there is something wrong with you, but you don't want to look at it because you feel like it means that you're worthless. It doesn't mean that you're worthless. It means that you're not perfect. And this is the seed. This is where it started from.
This text here as we go to the break. Stephen Dwight got my donkey whipped like I lost the keys to heaven. I turned out well. I only dropped out of primary school, for which I got whipped. I dropped out of junior high, for which I got whipped. I dropped out of high school, for which I got whipped. I went back, still got promoted in classes. They finally ran out of trees and cows to make leather belts and shipped me to Florida, where my older brother threatened to shoot me with a gun in his hand. I graduated at 16 and went on to university and got higher degrees. I have 5 children with university degrees and 2 minors who will also get theirs. What I learned from the whippings, that they don't work, but the threat of death works. Ask my children.
I don't even know if that person is telling us that
I don't know
proof.
What's going on.
Are you
that is
that proof of our point, or is that against our point? Because it is troubling.
Think about it while we take this break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Hurricane season is here. If you're not prepared, it can really turn your life upside down. Fortunately, there's CG Atlantic General. Our people are here, ready to assist at a moment's notice, with protection like alternative accommodation for those who are displaced due to a storm. It's our priority to make sure you have what you need when you need it most. So when your life gets turned upside down, we can help to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
Experience holiday shopping joy with an RBC Rewards Visa Platinum credit card. Apply by December 31st and receive 20,000 welcome points. Enjoy multiple ways to redeem your RBC Rewards, including My Way Travel Credit, Cashback Credit, gift cards, and much more. Apply today at your nearest branch or rbc.com/Caribbean/Visa Rewards and experience holiday joy with RBC. Conditions apply.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
The Water and Sewage Corporation advises its customers that the corporation will commence disconnection of all outstanding accounts beginning Monday, November 15th, 2021, in both New Providence and the Family Islands. Customers with outstanding accounts and financial agreements are requested to ensure that their accounts and financial agreements are brought up to date as soon as possible to avoid an interruption in service. Should you need to speak with a customer representative, please visit their Mall at Marathon location or the corporation's head office on University Boulevard between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or via local banks, the corporation's website, pay by phone by dialing 302-5630, or any Cash and Go, Omni Flash Cash, or Sun Cash locations.
What does Christmas mean to you? What about making a loved one's face smile bright or driving your own car? CIBC First Caribbean gives you up to 100% financing on auto loans. Apply online and let our auto financing take you places this Christmas. Visit CIBCFCIB.com for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, quality.
Hey, whoa. Hey, well, it's not the hour. Besides, it's in the place that we come in power. All hands in the air.
Wrap this up. Ain't no more working today. Close up shop. Everything else got away.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strawn along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. The emergency powers, the emergency orders come to an end on the 13th.
Sorry, I had something on the stove.
Oh, you're cooking. But yeah, how will that change people's behavior over the weekend as we move into this phase of the pandemic? It's going to be interesting to see.
Dwight, I went to bed 8 o'clock last night.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what does that mean?
I mean, it affected me left or right.
But did you go out much before all of this?
I wasn't home at 8 o'clock before the pandemic.
Well, we're all falling asleep early these days since the time change.
No, it ain't the time change, and that was before the time change.
So you think this is you permanently now?
I mean, I don't see a reason to go back out until we could congregate properly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't see me changing much of anything because what are they going out for?
I see. Well, don't forget your masks. Don't forget you still have to sanitize, right?
Except if you're eating or drinking, Dwight.
Well, be
and everywhere where people are, they are doing what? They're eating and drinking at all the places where they're congregating. So it's like, congratulations, we did it, guys. We did it.
I'm so angry. This is. We can do this. Don't you think we can do this? We can function without the curfew.
Oh, yeah, the curfew isn't going to change anything. I don't think that. I mean, it's a cultural issue where it's like we've developed the let's see if we could get away with it.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of people like that, I'm sure.
Have you not noticed suddenly there were a bunch of buildings and businesses that had green tarp on freshly erected chain link fence around their building. And there was loud music coming from the building, but you couldn't see what was going on. It was almost as though they were hiding something. And now I've noticed several of them have removed the green tarp because the people can go inside now. and they're using it as a parking lot again.
Well. Hey, the phone lines are lit up, and we got a lot of these text messages to get through really quickly. Somebody says here, a certain radio host insults people every day. I don't know what they're talking about, which is a form of abuse. So by your standard, I'm calling you out. But your media report lied when you all reported that people only got outraged because they thought someone was covering up sexual assault. Stop it, media. I don't know what's happening with you.
You're conflating.
This person is very confused. But several things. It is not a lie. You can see it that people, and I think you put it very well, Stephen, that people aren't talking about this because this could have easily happened to them, possibly.
Yeah, and they don't see it as a big deal.
Yeah. But that is the truth. And the minister's talking about it too. We all see it. The tone has changed. The story has shifted now, and people aren't as outraged as they were on Monday. And if you feel you're being abused by any radio host, it is very unlike being the child of a parent who's abusive or in an abusive relationship, right? Where you are legally bound to the person. You could just change the channel unless you like being abused.
Also, depending on what type of abuse it is, because you realize that you have a means to do something about it. Like as an adult human being, and this is what makes it different from child abuse. You have the means of saying, wow, not only am I going to turn this off, but this person levied these words against me, and I feel like it is an assault, and I'm going to report it to IRCA. Like
If they called your name, I really don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, because they might say, oh, the language this person used is inappropriate, is offensive to good-minded civil people. You can report that to IRCA.
Yes.
There are options for you as an adult. Let's not conflate it and make it sound like because you want to scream and curse at your child and tell them that they're stupid, that it's the same thing as me, an adult, telling you, an adult, that you're stupid. Because you could easily say, well, no, I'm not stupid. I don't appreciate you saying that. Why would you say that? And we could reason and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Your child can't do that because you could slap them.
Right. This text here, I don't buy the public outrage over this case because Bahamians love inflicting violence on children, generally speaking, culturally. You guys are 100% on point. This one says here, the minister needs to use better words. He is in leadership and a QC. Stop.
These are the words he's always used. It's just that at this moment, some persons don't like him using it because it kind of applies to them. But when he's talking about the other side, if he's talking with somebody that ain't you, it's okay.
This text here, I'm not sure where this one is coming from. It's not directly related to anything we're talking about, but okay. I personally know pastors who tell me God said I must give myself to him, and I ran like heck. That's why I don't go to church anymore. I don't trust no pastors.
That's wild, bro.
Dwight, I love your show and your laugh. Wow. Now, these little children, too rude. I say, lick them with the belt. I had gotten beaten and get slapped when I was small, and it ain't killed me. Put the belt on them, bae.
You know, I just told somebody, beaten never killed nobody, except for the people that are killed.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Your parents only assaulted you. They only committed attempted murder. They didn't commit murder. You must be very proud.
This person says, it's funny how people are defending hitting children. Do you know men were allowed to discipline their wives? Laws were actually passed to dictate the size stick you could hit your wife with. Perhaps they should bring that back so men can discipline their wives with love. On a side note, they're being sarcastic.
I wouldn't even joke with that because, like,
sarcastic. But you think someone's saying, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
For the next 3 shows, there will be callers arguing whether or not that's a good idea.
Oh boy. They go on to say, on a side note, if you beat an animal like how we discipline children, you could go to jail.
Yeah.
I have no proof until I conduct a study specifically on Bahamians, but I believe we are so open and accepting to violence because it was inflicted on us as children as resolution by the parents, out primary teachers, to a problem, something we did that they did not like. Even they're saying our primary teachers. Ah, yes. Even the threat of it as well. I theorize that this eventually leads the brain to believe that when someone does something we don't like in general, violence is a reasonable and responsible resolution.
I don't know if you have to theorize. I mean, that's
Right. You don't
pretty
need to study.
straightforward,
That's
right?
well known. Well known.
That's cause and effect, man.
You all are speaking to extremes, talking about drop kicking and other extreme cases. Do you honestly believe that every parent is out there drop
No,
kicking?
because some of y'all can't jump. Some of y'all too fat to jump kick somebody. How about that?
So not that now. They calling them stupid, and now talking about this. No, don't do that.
That's a statistical fact
here.
that there are persons who are we have an overweight society, right? Anyway, whole point is.
Don't do that. Let me continue their text.
Go ahead.
Oh gosh, like, this is it. We're done with that show.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll be leaving soon.
Many parents believe that you like you, that they were bested. Is it supposed to be beaten? And that they won't hit their children. To always speak in the extreme generalities like you do adds emphasis to your flawed arguments. But of the 400,000 people in the Bahamas, are you somehow the only right-thinking person? Please get off your high horse and stop insulting parents who are trying to do things the right way.
Right. I am not the only person out of 400,000. If you believe that I am the only person that thinks the way I think, then you are in a very closed-minded box. I have no problem with parents trying to do what is best for their child. They should try to do what is best for their child. My issue is, are you open to accepting that perhaps what you're doing isn't what's best for your child? It's just what you know. And it's like, if the only thing you know how to cook is chicken and fries, it doesn't mean that's the best meal for a child to grow up on. It's just what you know. And if somebody says, well, have you ever tried giving them fruits? They might like fruits. Have you tried to? And you say, you're just trying to confuse me, you on your high horse selling your vegetable. I'm offering a suggestion that perhaps eating fried chicken every day isn't the best way to go about life. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Are you suggesting that we have to hit every child? Because even when they're saying that, when somebody said these children too rude, the thought that came in my mind is 20 years ago, the idea of autism was so far removed from the Bahamas' conscience or consciousness that every child that wasn't physically like presenting as like they have Down syndrome was considered rude. Nobody was like, this child is somewhere on the spectrum, because nobody had heard about the spectrum, right? And that's 20 years ago. That's when I was in school. Nobody was saying, they would say, this child a little slow, or this child retarded, or this child have Down syndrome. But anything beyond that, where the child didn't physically present with anything, they were going to say this child is just rude and you need to beat the demon out of it. And we now know that that is not how it works. That is not helpful. And all I'm saying is, think about how many times you beat a child with no effect because you thought that that was the best way, because that's the only way that you know. And I'm saying, let's look at a different way.
We got let me read this text as we go. You're right, Dwight. Stephen shouldn't say that, so I will. We are big over here, man. It's a huge, massive health hazard. We need to eat better in smaller portions, and for and exercise. Most of our population is huge, and we need to fix it. Wow. Okay. We've stepped on every single toe this morning, Stephen. I know
do
you
my
have to
best.
run.
Right.
Oh wait,
can I say tomorrow's my mother's birthday? So
wow.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Stephen's mother. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and that's
Thanks
it.
a lot, Stephen.
Wrap it up.
I'll be back with the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle and Morning Blend Business after the news. Stay with us.
To win a relay,